Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel. So, what have I told you? That Games Workshop have missed a very good money-making opportunity. One that the community would go nuts over, and it would literally be a sort of, here's my money sort of thing, take my money. And they dropped the ball. Not only have they dropped the ball once, they've dropped it so many times, but I've got a feeling right now, and this is not me complaining about Games Workshop, this is something I would actually like to see, and might actually get me into Games Workshop again. Well, actually, no, it would get me buying eBay stuff and playing their games by second hand, but you see what I mean. And the thing is, they dropped the ball so many times on this one thing that it's kind of weird. And it's something I really like. The thing is, if you watch my videos and you get to know me, because I tend to be very open and honest on these things, I like a diverse army. Diversity on the tabletop is fantastic. Now, I know a lot of people are going, oh, diversity, but if you watch my videos, you know exactly what I mean. It's the different model types. So, the Imperial Agents codex dropped. Now, I haven't read it, I haven't seen it, it would have been one of the few books that could have made me rethink about going and playing Warhammer again, or 40k again, but they dropped the ball on it. This is kind of similar to the Inari. See, the Imperial Agents, the Inquisition, in the lore, and this is where I'm finding a lot of problems of Games Workshop is stemming from, is they seem to not know the lore in the game design part of the company. It sounds weird for me to say this, but I'm going to explain myself in a minute, but it's like the game design side and the Black Library side are so separate now that they don't even talk to each other to sort of get things right. So the Imperial Agents Army Codex dropped, and this would have been the only time that they made this a supplement. I would have said, okay, this is actually pretty cool. This needs to be a supplement, not a full codex. I know I'm really against supplements, but this is one this is the exception that proves the rule, because the Inquisition, if you read the lore, they can literally command anyone in the Imperium. I say they can, they're allowed to, whether they do or not, or whether the Space Marines tell them to go away with a 4-letter word, and the Imperial Knights say, yeah, that's not going to happen, and the Custodians go, no, but they can still command the Custodians, the Space Marines, and the Imperial Knights. This is within the law. Look at the Siege of Thrax. Inquisitor was in charge of the entire thing, and if there were Space Marines there were Imperial Knights there was Imperial Guard there. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. That would have been an incredible Imperial Agents campaign to do. That would have been something that would have been fantastic. You have a lead Inquisitor leading the campaign, and yet, for some reason, they dropped the ball on this. If it was a supplement, and it literally said at the first line, this is a supplement, if you're playing an Imperial Agent army, or faction, whatever, this is your HQ, and you can take any other codex and models within them. Okay? That's it. So, you could take the Blood Angel Codex, the Space Marine Codex, the Imperial Knight Codex, yes I know it's not out yet, Grey Knights, whatever. You could pick, a couple codexes, or codices, and go, right, this is my Imperial Agent army, it has Grey Knights, it has an Archaeon, I like the Archaeon model, and it has some Imperial Guard. And that's your Imperial Agent army, right? That's it. And yes, I picked that because it's mostly similar to the Siege of Thrax, plus Red Scorpions. So, there you go, your Imperial Agent army. You can also have special rules for things like the Dark Angels. Like, the Dark Angels, you cannot take Dark Angels because they don't like each other, Same with Space Wolves. They could have all Space Marine chapters except Dark Angels and Successors, Space Wolves and Successors. It would have been really simple and easy to put in. And all the Codex supplement would need is the Inquisition as your HQ choices, Arbites, Rogue Traders, Naval Breachers as your troop choices, and Assassins as your elites. That's all. Okay, Crusaders as well, and some Death Cult Assassins. So basically, that is all you would need in that book, and have it as a usable book within the entire game, because you just grab whatever army you want to use with your Imperial Agents and go, this is my army. And this, like I said, this actually kind of got me excited, because this would have been one of the armies that I would have been, yeah, I'm going to do this. I have a sizable Imperium army. And I call it my Imperium army because it is an Imperium army. It has Space Marines of Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Imperial Fist for Horus Heresy, but I also use them in 40k. They are pre-Crimson Fist, Imperial Fists, by the way, 405th Company. So this is a battle, Imperial Guard, Death Watch, Grey Knights, and Imperial Knights. Having an Inquisitor to be able to control and do that entire army and lead it would have been a fantastic Apocalypse-sized game. I would have such a diverse range. But they kind of decided not to do this. They decided to go, we'll just do Xenos, Malleus, and Hereticus. Okay? We're just going to focus on those three. Forgetting that the Inquisition is this wide-reaching affair, which actually covers everything. But like I said, this isn't the only time where they've dropped this ball. And they could actually make money with other factions exactly the same way. And I would love to see this. This is the sort of thing that I would think would make Games Workshop a lot of money and actually improve the game a lot. We're not talking allies here, like Vitaldar. I was really good with Vitaldar without Vital, but never mind. And like I said, Vitaldar, you got the Ynnari, you got the Drukhari, you have the Craftworld Eldar, you got the Harlequins, you got the Corsairs. Imagine having all of them in the same army with a Ynnari codex supplement saying, yeah, wait, you got Ynnari, they're your leaders. Basically, this is where you get main your rules from. You use whatever codexes you wish, or codices you wish to build your army. Simple as, right? And you'd have a nice, diverse army. Same with it. And the Tau is even probably the worst one for this, because you don't even need ones with a Tau keyword. You can have humans, Eldar, yes, it happens, it's rare. Orcs. You can't have Necrons or the Tyranids, obviously, because, Necrons and Tyranids. But every other faction, and Space Marines, every other faction would be actually within the Tau and the Gular, and part of the what they call it, whatever. And that would be really cool to have these different models, just basic stat line, because they would be just the basic troop choice for their models. Like if you wanted, Orcs have decided that the greater good is the way they want to go. I don't know why they would, but not Orcs are the same. And that would have been really cool and something interesting to see as a codex. Literally have this rule saying, let's say conquested aliens, and you basically get the stat line for Space Marine, Imperial Guard, and the Orcs and the Eldar. They'd all have pretty much the same space. Just the basic standard Guardian stat line, the basic Boy stat line, the basic Imperial Guard stat line. And that would be it. So people could start building this really cool Tau army with, Eldar who have decided to go with the greater good. Same with the Tyranids as well. You could have, Orc Gene Stealer cults. They are rare, but they happen. And same with Tau. You could have Tau Gene Stealer cults. And you'd be able to buy these other models for your army and have them look really cool and have this rule set which looks cool for them. And for some reason, getting people to buy different models with different armies and use them in the same army is something that Games Workshop just doesn't want to do. If you want an Imperial army, you can't do it. You have to do a Space Marine, Imperial Agents, and that's it. Rather than saying like Imperial Agents, now I can have an Archeon, some Space Marine Dreadnoughts, or some Sisters of Battle, and have this really cool army. And I think Games Workshop have dropped the ball here, and this is something I would love to see. This would be one of the few things that Games Workshop could do right and actually start getting more love from the community. And that's it. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I hope you enjoyed this video. It was quite fun to make, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. There is a link to Wayland Games down below if you wish to save money on your wargaming, up to 20% off and free delivery after £20. There is Forbidden Planet as well, for comics, DVDs, mangas, all that cool geeky stuff. There is also my merchandise, the stickers, cups, bags, t-shirts, what everyone else does. There's my comics as well, take a look at them. There is also Skyforge, never forget Skyforge, and finally Patreon because business. Bye bye.